Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Tonight, we're talking about the case of Jack and Lilly Sullivan, who vanished from their Pictou County, Nova Scotia home on May 2nd, 2025. We are nearly at a year, and recently, there's been some little developments here, and we've just been, again, talking about Friday morning, the time when they say Jack and Lilly went missing. But did they really go missing early in the morning, like they said? A lot to talk about on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm in a unbreakable storm, dressed in truth and pearl. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Any clutch, better tighten the pearls. Drop the cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch.
This helicopter. Thank you, darling.
Coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls. Dropping cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is April 6th, 2026. It is currently 8:39 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Uh, Thank you so much. Thank you, my dear. Appreciate you. Good to see everyone in chat tonight. We're talking about the case of Jack and Lilly Sullivan, who vanished from their Pictou County, Nova Scotia home on May 2nd, 2025. And we're coming up on a year. And so there's a lot to talk about. Miss Junkyard Janie, Daniel Martell's mother, spoke on a channel the other day, and there was a search with the mother of Jack and Lilly. She decides to, step out after 11 months and, search for her kids. Um, and yeah, a lot to go over. We didn't even touch. We had a really fantastic live last night, and we busted a lot of very big inconsistencies out. But tonight we're going to go over more. I'm also going to try. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. A live on Nancy Guthrie case after this. I don't know. I was only so many hours in a day. And but if we'll see if you're on later tonight. So good to see everyone. If you would be so kind and please do me a big favor. Jack and Lilly are still missing, and there's not as many people speaking about Jack and Lilly right now. So if you would please hit that thumbs up button, that is, or double tap the screen, and make sure that thumbs up highlights. That is a big way to keep their name out here. Also, sharing this live. Not everyone knows about Jack and Lilly, even today. That's doesn't matter where you are in the world, that would make a big difference. Also, hyping this live after the live stream. If you don't use it, you lose it. You get 3 hypes a week. They are absolutely free, and it's like a super thumbs up, and it really helps push the video out farther. Yeah, it really helps the algorithm. So if you would consider doing 1, 2, or all 3 of these, it would be so beneficial for the case of continually keeping their name out there, because it is imperative that there is pressure always on these cases. It really truly matters. Really does. So good to see everyone. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Let me say hello to a few people in here. Well, Miss Grace, good to see you, my dear. Hello, darling. Miss Shannon, good to see you, honeys. Robin, bonjour. TJ, hello. April, good to see you, my friend. Miss Valerie, hello. Miss Joyas, hello, darling. Good to see you. Robin, good to see you. Christy, good to see. What's that sound? I think 1 second. Good to see you, my dear. And Summer Breeze, Angel Kiss, Carol. Thank you so much for sharing that out. Appreciate you. Good to see you, dear. Teresa, hello. Isabel, good to see you. I think Malaya is stepping out looking for them because of all the criticism against her. I think she's doing it that it might help her later if there would be any charges on her. Well, because you could say, not really looking for your kids. and not really speaking up for your kids. How would that look potentially with a juror? You never know, right? Hello, Chicken Whisper. Good to see you, Miss Eureka. Christy, April. Hello, dear. Hey, Brian. Good to see you, my friend. Hello, hello, hello. Wendy, good to see you. This can't go cold now, which I don't think it will. I don't think it will. I do think that the RCMP is working really hard on this, but I do think in the beginning there was some missteps. I missed last night's live. You really want to probably watch that one, Autumn. It was very, very good live, and I caught some things that shredded Janie's story, Daniel's and Malaya's. One thing that they've all three said. So you might want to look at that. Good to see you. Patriot Girl mentioned a minute ago inconsistencies with her blood work in docs. Am I missing something, Patriot Girl? Let me know, please, if you are still in here. Hello, darling. You received that pearl necklace. Please make sure you give our helicopter gal a big, big thank you. Do you think she's doing it to try to look? Tina, I think it might help her later if there would be charges against her. That's my opinion. I started watching it. I will finish watching it. Gotcha, my dear. Thank you so much, Justin. You should sing louder. Oh, angel kisses. You're very sweet, honey. But I sound like two cats breeding on a hot tin roof singing. Girl, you're very kind. Okay. All right. So let's get down to it. We're going to start exactly where we left off. It's a little bit later than I normally start my lives. I apologize. Hopefully I can get 2 lives in tonight because I really want to go over Nancy's case as well because there's some things coming out in that. But if not, is what it is. Okay, so we are going to give our friend Char's True Crime Story podcast credit. So I didn't find the timing, in my opinion, shocking by any stretch of the imagination. Malaya was out in Pictou County the other day. Whenever she was out there searching for Jack and Lilly with others, which good. I'm glad she's searching. I don't really buy it, though, to be quite frank with you. I think, where were you the last 11 months? Right? Where were you the last 11 months? Going to clubs, allegedly, and the beach, right? So Janie reached out, probably due to search. I think that triggered her. Yeah, I think that triggered her as well. I think, listen, she's not, Malaya is just, in my opinion, just an absolute phony. I don't, just absolute phony, because like, she will not speak to anyone about anything unless someone around her approves of it. Now, come on. These are your kids, for God's sakes. Your actions and your words are 2 different things, right? Hey, Magdalena, from what I read in other chats, there were mapping for upcoming searches, also looking for evidence. That's what I read. Yeah, and they're I think there needs to be searches. I really, really do. It needs to continue. I think they need to, if they're looking still in the same areas that they were, I think it's pretty pointless. Hopefully, they're looking in some other areas. But yeah, I'm glad. I'm appreciative that I think it was Brad. He's helping in the search and all that, and God bless you guys for that. And God reward you for that. Absolutely. Okay, so we're gonna leave off right where we did. I'm pretty sure this was, or might have forwarded a little bit. Let me look.
But that's way long gone now. I understand that.
Let me make sure.
That involved could get together and just
Yeah, okay, this was it.
So it would be.
I have talked to Belinda. I got her number now. I got her number from Darren. So Darren had to know Belinda. Darren had to talk to Belinda before Belinda talked to me. So God knows what Darren told Belinda. I talked to Belinda. I told Belinda exactly the same thing I am telling you guys now. Exactly the same thing as I told the investigators. Exactly the same thing I told in my interview. Exactly the same thing I told in the chat room.
I'm so sorry, guys. I was, oh my Lord, my brain's just not with it sometimes, y'all. I've been working overtime lately, so I apologize. What was I saying? Okay. I was talking about, I think Jack and Lily's is very close to home. I really do. And unless they were moved, which it's rare someone move them. It's rare. Does it happen? Yes. Does it happen? Yes. But I can't describe to you even how small they would be if they were found. Right? Same thing in Summer Wells's case. We're talking when they were looking for Summer Wells, she was 5 years old. We were talking a laptop size. Talking about a laptop size. Right? And it would be easier to find a laptop in the woods or in nature, generally if it's like silver or something like that. It's incredible. With all of like the land around there. But I do think very, very close Jack and Lily is. Thank you, Summer Breeze. Appreciate you, my dear. Thank you so much. Thank you, baby. Good to see you. Even though Daniel has his hellish issues, I totally believe that Malaya is worse than he. Really, Isabel. I'm not really here to say that, we all have our opinions. I don't know who's worse or whatever. The only people I really try to judge, if you will, is people that just they don't take care of their kids. They neglect their kids. They're abusive. They're people who hurt animals, elderly, like those people I can't stand. But I think they're both equally horrible in their own right. Hey, April, good to see you. Thank you so much, Summer Breeze. Appreciate you very, very much. Good to see you, my love. Angel kisses. Hey, darling. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Much love to you, my dear. Angel kisses. Thank you, babies. Appreciate you. Good to see you, honey. April, justice for Jack and Lilly. Thank you so much, Miss April. Appreciate you, my dear. Really, really do appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. You guys mean so much. Really, thank you, love. And thank you for guys being members as well. I do not trust anyone. I'm so tired of the BS. All of you, and I mean all of you involved with the neglect, abuse, and everything else that has happened. Shame on you. Shame on all of you. And I was really fired up yesterday, and I'll probably be fired up here and again in just a second with when I hear Janie. Just the absolute lies. Sad. I get emotional. Just lies about Jack and Lilly, who didn't do anything. They're just kids living their life. You know, we're all trying to survive. It doesn't matter if you're 4 or 6, 30, 50, 70, or 100. Everyone's trying to survive. I get that. But don't make it harder. Life is difficult enough. Don't make it harder on yourself. Don't make it harder on your kids, your loved ones, all of that, right? Time is slipping away. We only get so many trips around the sun. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. I think, in my opinion, Daniel couldn't contain himself that night, and I think he lost it. And I think that's part was because of the relationship ending. I think a lot of it was rug fueled and all of that. There are things that can trigger all of us, but don't waste it. I mean, truly, only so many trips around the sun. If you get 75 trips around the sun, that's an average life, and it's hard enough.
She asked me what kind of dog I had. I told her I had a Heinz 57, a mixed mutt. You can go on CBC on the interview that I did and see the dog. I still have the dog today. Now, if
Maybe
she
listen
can't
to this
see,
part.
that's the only
Maybe she's
dog
repeating it.
that I have.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry, Belinda, but there is no other dog here. You can get Cheryl. I'll tell you what, you get somebody in this chat or whoever to ask Cheryl, since
Okay, no, we listened to this part. Hold on, let me fast forward it a little bit.
they put it into 8 minutes.
Oh, no. Okay. It was right here where we left off. Apologize.
If you find the kids or you know where the kids are, will you please type
Okay.
where they were and they were on the reservation on Flight Man and everything? But looks can be deceiving, because when you meet someone, they could be really nice to you, and then when they find out what they want, they turn around and stab you in the back. And he started talking about what he thought the case and the stories that he told us. You would be unbelievable. But he mostly eventually got them out there where he said he was 100% sure that he knew where the kids were, and they were on the reservation, and they were here and there and everywhere. Okay.
Yeah, she's absolutely right about that. Durwood did say that. But you know who else said that, Janie? Your son. Do you know does she even realize? I know she does, because she watches all of us, she knows that Daniel has said so many things about where the kids were or weren't, or where they 100% weren't, or where he would visit Malaya in prison with Meadow, or whether Malaya's stepsister did it or Malaya's mother did it. Now, come on. Come on, Janie. Oh, thank you so much, Miss Michelle. That's very kind of you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, my dear. Thank you very much. That's very kind. I appreciate you, Miss Michelle. Thank you so much for your support, my dear. Good to see you. Very, very much, my dear. Janie has selective hearing, in my opinion. Janie, she has no even neutral criticism for Daniel. It's pretty interesting. I understand he's your child, but I don't get this part.
Okay. He gave us a lot of hope. Lot of hope.
Listen, how does Durwood, oh, thank you, Miss Michelle. How does Durwood give Janie and Daniel a lot of hope? Right? Hold on. What is Joe asking? What's Joe asking? Joe, Andrea not blocked. Okay. I can't see, but yeah, it is deflection. It absolutely is green eyes. But how does Durwood give you hope? You guys were the ones, and it's just been so weird for me because they said, Janie said, once I met with Durwood before, it all made sense. And that's never made sense to me because Janie, you were there the morning Jack and Lily vanished, even though I don't believe it happened that morning. I want to do a poll on that. Do you think something happened to Jack and Lily after 6 a.m. on Friday? Yes. After? No. Before? No. Between? We'll say 8 Saturday and 5 a.m. Sun. Unsure. Okay. So let me know what you guys think in chat. If you type in 1, do you believe something happened to Jack and Lily after 6 a.m. on Friday? That is the morning that they called that they weren't going to be at school that morning. Or do you think something happened between, we'll just say 8 p.m. I messed that completely up. Hold on. I just realized that. 1 second. I don't know why I put Saturday and Sunday. I meant Thursday and Friday. I apologize. Do I fix that? Okay. Between Friday, you guys probably know what I meant though. Thursday and 5 a.m. Friday. There we go. Okay, now you guys can comment on it right there. I think something happened between just after they got home later in that evening, in my opinion. I don't think they went missing then at all. You know what I mean? Okay.
That he knew where the kids were. So when he started telling me this, I started opening up to him because he gave us a lot of hope because he knew where the kids were. Because once, as I said, once they left here Friday morning, we don't know where they ended up at. We don't know where those kids are. So if everybody out there,
Yesterday, I told you guys, I talked to you guys about the 20 minutes whenever this scene is set that Malaya is outside with Meadow, Daniel's looking for the kids, and Janie comes out of the trailer and says to Malaya, "What's up, Malaya?" And she says, "Jack and Lily's missing." And then she says, Janie says, "How long?" And Malaya supposedly says, 20 minutes. And Janie says, "Okay, well, let me just go get my boots on, put my phone down, and go search for them." Why would Janie not say, "What do you mean they're missing? I just heard them outside. What do you mean they're missing? I literally just heard Jack and Lily outside," because she now puts herself in the spot that she heard Jack and Lily last. And if they had only been missing 20 minutes, and actually, it was up to 20 minutes. First of all, you would have said, "What do you mean, Malaya? Like, the kids were just outside. How are they missing?" Right? Just like Daniel and Malaya would have went to the trailer and checked to see if the kids were either in the trailer, right, or under the trailer, but they would have knocked on Janie's door. Janie uses the excuse, "Well, I would because they thought I was with my brother Ron." No, that's not why. And regardless, whether they thought you were with Ron or not, they would have checked that trailer regardless. You're going to check that entire property before you're going to go start searching in the woods, right? Another thing I want to bring up. Do you know how it's very interesting how, and I don't know if I've heard anybody talk about this or not, because I can think of things later and I see things in some different angles. Do you know how all of a sudden Janie and Daniel go to the woods? You know how they go to the woods? It's like the Daniel and Malaya, they say they're looking inside. And he says he goes outside. And then he says he goes straight up the hill. Right? He says he goes straight up the hill. And then he says he comes back down the hill. And then he goes to the front door of the trailer. He can't get in. So he goes around back. He gets the keys off of there, leaves his phone, and then leaves. And Janie says she's getting her boots on and she goes straight to the woods. We don't hear that. They do not talk about checking that yard. You're going to check that yard, every crevice, every corner, every building, every container, every dryer, every piece of trash, every chicken coop, everything before you're going to go to the woods, especially with the weather that was there. Right? They immediately don't look in the yard. They go up both, and it's very interesting how Daniel says he goes up there and comes back down. And then when Janie gets her shoes on, she goes up to the same place and then comes back down. And then her and Daniel, the next thing she knows, her and Daniel is behind the property there on the road. But they don't talk about searching the yard. They don't talk about searching the buildings that is on the property. Anything. They don't talk about searching underneath the trailers or anything at all. It's they are out there. We know it.
Keeps asking us where the kids are. Well, can I please say, if you find the kids or you know where the kids are, will you please come and tell us? Because we would like to know.
Ask your son. Janie, you know more.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do know that, like you said in the very beginning, media likes to edit. And I'm not talking about YouTubers, whatever. I'm talking about actual mainstream
Yes.
media. They also edit even more so than YouTubers do.
Janie, or sorry, Daniel said she was calling 911 out there while she was talking to Janie when he was coming down the hill. And Malaya said that she had to stand in a corner and call 911. And Janie said in another interview that you couldn't get service on that property. Very rare, rare
And
without
I would
Wi-Fi.
like to point out that I've been told, I haven't seen it, but I've been told that the interviews that were given, there has been positive things said about Jack and Lilly, and there has
I
been
agree, Enoch.
pleas for their return or information that just doesn't, for whatever reason, make it to air. Is that accurate, Janie?
Oh, you're okay. That's a good question, because I'm going to tell you, I did 2.5 hour interview with Allie.
Hold on. What is it?
Oh, you're okay.
Make
Hold on,
for
what?
their return or information, and there has been pleas for their return or information that just doesn't, for whatever reason, make it to air. Is that accurate, Janie?
Oh, you're okay.
Oh, save it. Save it. Bullshit on a shingle. No way. No way. I don't believe that for a minute, a second even. Janie, you and your son have only, and Malaya, have only been worried about you. That's it. That's it. Who you can place blame off on each other and make your own selves look, oh, I don't know nothing. I don't do anything. Whatever. No. Janie says she didn't see or know anything that was going on in that house, right? But, and I know that she does this. She goes in and out of that house daily, right? And I've got things I know that she does that. I know that she does that 100%. That is one thing I'm 100% sure on. Number two, she says, oh, I just don't know what's going on in that house. But she says, I can hear everything inside my trailer, right? And I know that when she's outside of her trailer, and I'm sure probably inside of her trailer, she can hear the inside of Daniel and Malaya's trailer where Jack and Lily was, especially they're loud enough. So you can save it. You can save it, Miss Janie. Helicopter, thank you so much again, darling. Appreciate this. Very kind of you. Thank you so much, my dear. You received that much. You think, my dear Miss Helicopter. Thank you. Thank you so much, love. Really, really do appreciate that. Janie said, Mike, when they heard them out in the yard, her dog started barking. She opened the door and she let her dog out. Her dog is pinned in. She kept her dog away from the kids. Yeah. Yeah. I know a lot. There's people that I've heard that people think that like the dog, like a dog did it or whatever. I don't think so. In my opinion, I would, yeah. There's, it's highly unlikely that, first of all, it would, if a dog did it, there would be a lot of evidence. Number two, it's highly unlikely that a dog would unalive not one, but two people. Number two, most people would call 911 if it was an accident and it wasn't involving them. You know what I mean? So I just don't buy the dog thing, in my opinion. I bet she can hear him screaming at the kids. Oh, they fought every day. Every day, from what I understand. Every single day you could hear him. Daniel was searching for planting stuff because Janie said he was up the hill by the old red pipeline. Yep, she sure did. Now I really wonder, because Janie was on Live with Shar, that kids didn't go outside Wednesday and Thursday. Didn't she say the kids were outside Thursday? Did she slip up the script? You know, this is my thing, Magdalena. I believe, in my opinion, that Janie is talking about Wednesday, just like Daniel tried to put off Thursday as Wednesday in the RCMP documents. And the RCMP speaks about that in the documents as well. Right? And he says, we think Daniel's confused about those days. Now, how could you be confused about what happened last night? Right? If it's Friday morning, right, and the police are there by 10:30 in the morning, you're going to quickly tell them, they're going to quickly interview you. You're definitely going to interview you that day about the last 24 hours. And how can you not remember last night? You're lying for a reason. It's that simple.
That's a good question, because I'm going to tell you, I did 2.5 hour interview with Allie. We sat here, we talked for 2.5 hours. They gave me 8 minutes. 8 minutes. And she called me and she gave me the show before it was aired. And I told her, I said, you left out the most important part. I wanted you to show where my brother had called me. And she goes, oh, we didn't put that in, but I can edit it in. I said, yes. I said, edit it in, because that was what this here was
You didn't show that morning
all about,
call,
where my brother called me. So she,
and there's a big problem. Don't forget, there's a great big problem with where her brother called her at 10:19, because we were, again, if you watched last night's live, I was showing you guys that the 911 call went in at 10:01, and Malaya and Janie are supposedly, around outside at this time. Daniel's going up the hill, coming down the hill. He said Malaya's on the phone with 911. Still at this point, and it only took him 30 seconds, he says, to run up there. Well, Janie says she goes in, gets dressed, puts her shoes and gets her coat on and all that, goes and searches up the hill, then sees Daniel back behind the pipeline, says, Daniel asked, you want to go with me? She said, no, I'm going to look here. So she searched that entire area back there. She said she didn't take her phone when she went. Well, Police are there at 10:25 or 10:22 that morning. Her brother calls at 10:19. There's no way she could have, standing in front of Malaya, told the kids were missing, go get dressed and do all of that, go up there, have this conversation, speak to Daniel or whatever, and go search that entire area. Wouldn't have worked. There's no way. She couldn't have gotten dressed and all that in that amount of time. It wouldn't have worked. Yep. Yep. That's right. That's right. When I listen to Janie's voice, I feel like I am going to snap my joints in my
She put that in. She left out a lot of details. A lot of details. So for 2 hours and a half, they put it into 8 minutes.
Isn't that crazy how they do
Well,
that? And
you know what's very interesting to me? You know, you can bitch about that till the cows come home, Janie, but you are up there right now and you can speak about anything you want to. It can be 2.5 hours long. It can be 3.5 hours long or whatever. No editing or whatever. That's the great thing about the live streams, right? Just because they were at your house 2.5 hours, and probably an hour of that was them trying to get probably dog shit off their feet. That was probably an hour of them being there. So the 2.5 hours that they were there doesn't mean they were recording the entire time, and it also doesn't mean you were saying anything productive of any value necessarily either. If you're just bitching about the entire situation, then you're probably, just like you are in this interview a lot, bitching about other people. The big media is not going to pay their advertisers and stuff to put that on television 2.5 hours, right? The big media works differently. They give you a 5-minute clip of, you know, the broad spectrum of it all, but they don't go into the nitty gritty like we do. It's different, right? Hey, Miss Dolores, good to see you, darling. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, baby. Thank you, Miss Dolores. Thank you so much, my love. Really do appreciate you, Miss Dolores. Good to see you. The smell of bleach makes me nauseous instantly. That and floral perfumes. Oh, Cassie. Really? I love bleach and floral perfume.
there's a lot of people who are asking, and I've answered this before for months, like how did Daniel know that 100% that the HRD dogs wouldn't find anything? And I've told everybody that Daniel told me that it's because he believed they were alive, but there's a lot of stuff in that interview that didn't get aired that people just don't even think to ask. Like I've been saying, like, why is nobody asking for help to find the children? Why is nobody saying that they miss the children and they're worried sick and all this stuff? Apparently all
Well,
that
that's because everybody that was on that property knows. And this is the thing. What they say in the beginning is the most important. These people who are lying, they learn from us, right? They learn from us what they should actually be saying. So Janie can say things like, oh, we missed the children, or Malaya can start searching now after 11 months. But it's really what you did in the first days and weeks with Jack and Lilly. That's what a normal person, a normal parent, a normal step parent, a normal person living on the property that had a close relationship with Jack and Lily would be saying, would be doing. But now you just say that because you know what you're supposed to say or do, but it doesn't ring true. It smells as bullshit. 11 months later, with Janie's about to say it right here, and what Malaya did the other day. Is it a good thing to say? Yeah, kumbaya, but it doesn't make doesn't ring true. Just doesn't.
That stuff gets cut out of those interviews, and
I
just
disagree.
knowing about the 2-hour interview that Janie did and the little bit that we saw, and then we all saw Derwin.
You know what? You know what, Janie? Why didn't you record it? Why didn't Daniel record it? You guys record everything else. Why didn't you do it? Right? Question.
Woods too. He got what, 30 seconds of airtime? So we know that they edit a lot out.
Like, I pleaded. I don't know. I was so disgusted. I don't know. I watched it, but some people said there was more stuff after that. I don't know now if I asked Malaya to please come out and tell us what happened that morning. Now, everybody says there was 3 people on this property. Yes, it was true. 3 people. Me, Daniel, and Malaya. Okay? Now, I went on to Shenanigans tonight, and they were saying that they believe Malaya had nothing to do with this. Well, she was part of this. So if she had nothing to do with this, how did I have anything to do with this?
No, I agree with Janie there. But this is where I push back with if you believe Daniel or if you believe Malaya. How do you think one of them doesn't, particularly Daniel and Malaya, has anything not to do with it when they both, and this is very important, at 6:15 a.m. onward, say that they were both in bed, both heard and or seen the kids after Malaya called this or did the email for the school. You're stuck. Give me a valid excuse how they were both laying in bed, both dozing in and out. One, Malaya being on the phone at 8 something, being on this, being on that. Daniel saying that he's nowhere near asleep, can't get their story straight, doesn't make sense. Their entire timeline is screwed. Tell me how one of them could be involved and the other one not. They are in this boat together. They're in this boat together. Right? Thank you so much, Miss Meredith. Appreciate you, my darling. Thank you so much. Really, really do appreciate you. Y'all welcome, Miss Meredith. Really, really do appreciate you, my dear. And Miss Dolores, thank you. I appreciate you for gifting that pearl necklace. Make sure you thank our dear Dolores. Good to see you. Hello, Seema. Good to see you. I don't believe either Daniel or Malaya. They both are sick in the head, and that has always been my point, Autumn. Right? That has always been my point. I don't believe either one of them. And truthfully, how does anybody, y- like, if you truly go by what they say and about what happened that morning and their actions and Daniel's lies, there's no way under God's green earth that you can't see that they are both in this. Now, again, I don't know if Malaya knows where the kids are, right? But I do believe she knows what happened to them. You just can't convince me otherwise. It's very, very obvious. Very, very obvious in this case. But I love Charmaine. She's a good gal.
So I had nothing to do with this. So,
And this is the thing, Char and I, we've talked behind the scenes many, many times. And, she, some people let him rattle off, with Janie lets her come up and being non-judgmental and doesn't necessarily, she takes notes and lets people listen, right? I find the inconsistencies in their bullshit and their timelines and all of that. That's what I do.
why are they saying that I had everything to do with this? Why are they saying I'm the ringleader of this? They weren't my responsibility. Like, I'm going to give you an
They weren't Janie's responsibility, and I don't believe Janie's the ringleader of it.
example. I already said this to you earlier. Okay, people may understand this, people may not. But say if you're living in an apartment building and there's four people that live in that apartment building. There's four apartments in that building. And I live across from someone that has a child.
Mm-hmm.
And that child is outside playing in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And that child disappeared. Am I responsible for that child because that child disappeared? Because I was the last one to hear it? It's the same property.
Well, no, you wouldn't be. You wouldn't be. But the time you talk to your brother and the time you say you're standing next to Malaya with the timings and all of that, and you, the way two neighbors hear Daniel's car, or Daniel's vehicle that night, two neighbors, you're a lot closer to Daniel's you're on the property. You're just a few feet away from the other trailer. Janie, your dog barks at everything. Come on. You have to know something. Something was off that night at the very minimum. You had to. And look at Friday morning. There's no way you could have been standing by Malaya at 10:19 and done all that search. There's just no way. I prove it
Same
on last
building.
night.
Am I responsible for that child if it disappeared?
I would
Could you
say
please
no.
answer me that question?
I would say no, and I know that we.
But you know something, and one thing that's interesting. You saw Black Eyes, Janie. You cannot convince me you didn't know that those kids hands were being laid on them. Fucking Durwood said Patty said that their hands were being laid on them. And I do believe that's one thing I do believe Durwood on. Not a lot, but that's one thing I do believe him. Now, Malaya has lied on and off about that. She said Daniel didn't put his hands on Jack or Lily. I believe she was on that because of CPS, in my opinion. And she didn't want to get in trouble either. But she also said Daniel picked on the kids. But Daniel's kids, his other two kids, said that Daniel was mean to Jack and Lily. Kids don't get bruises all the time. Charmaine in here? Hey, Charmaine, if you're in here. Absolutely. Hey, Alicia. Absolutely. You'd be responsible. We're all responsible. Yeah, she knows. She knows.
Our conversation today, we were talking about how, it is definitely the mother's responsibility and the dad's responsibility to know where their kids are, to make sure they're safe. And there was just I guess, you can't even call it a mix-up, but if you regularly had to tell Malaya that the kids were outside, didn't have boots on, didn't have shoes on, it was just a matter of why not that day? And I know we already hit on that earlier, that exactly, like, why not that day? It's just something that it didn't happen that day, and it probably haunts you to this day. But at the end of it all, it's not, they weren't your responsibility, so I get that. I do.
So this is the thing. I don't know how it is in Canada. But for instance, if someone is, if you're driving in a car, and you unalive someone, you go to jail. If you know someone is about ready to go do something, you go to jail. You can go to jail. Not you will, but you can go to jail. If they're about to harm themselves and you say or do nothing, you can get in trouble, right? Now, I don't think Janie she wasn't responsible for Jack and Lily. But I don't believe she heard them that morning at all. At all. It doesn't fit. Look at the timeline.
If I was living here in the trailer with them, yes, they would be my responsibility because I'm here with them. But I live in my own space out there in my decrepit trailer, like everybody calls. And I'm going to say something about that in a few minutes, too. I live out in the camper. So how was I responsible for the kids being outside that morning?
You're not. Malaya called in at 6:15 and said the kids weren't going to school, right? This is the thing. This is the other thing. The kids could have went to school Thursday, couldn't they? Those kids could have went to school Thursday. They weren't sick. Come on. You did everything Thursday. You took them around stores, restaurants, all kinds of places. She didn't take them. She called in Friday morning. Well, if they would have went to school, they could have perfectly went to school. It's interesting how she calls it in at 6 something in the morning. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think by 6:15, everything that happened to Jack and Lily had already happened to Jack and Lily. And I think that's when things were winding down for Daniel and Malaya. Yeah, they were out spending Patty's money. Yep. Absolutely. Charlotte, where you been, girl? Good to see you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Yes, for Belinda. Good to see you, Miss Charlotte. How's life? Appreciate you, my dear. And thank you for being a member as well, my love. Good to see you. Prayers for Jack and Lily. It would be just amazing if there was an arrest right around like the year mark or before. Wouldn't that be amazing? Or maybe even just maybe a day or so after. I don't know. Let's hope and pray though. Let's hope and pray though. Hey, Retro. I support certain creators and I appreciate the time, but sorry. I don't know what you're talking about. What's going on, helicopter? I still question whether it was MBM or DM that called the school app. Just because it was her phone, it doesn't mean it was her. That's true. That's true. But I think Malaya admits it was her on that one.
Okay.
I mean, I understand where the questions come from, but hearing it from you, I understand your side of it as well. I get it.
Now I'm going to say something. I lived in that camper ever since Daniel and Malaya lived in this trailer. Now, people are saying that the kids were neglected, they were abused, and all this other stuff. Well, can I please say something? I gave up my home for Daniel, Malaya, Jack and Lily, and my unborn grandchild. Okay? I chose to live in that trailer so I could give them a home, so they wouldn't be out in the street.
No. First of all, it's not like they were homeless, Janie. And second of all, Daniel's a grown-ass man who can get all these women pregnant or whatever and screw around and spend a substantial amount of money on his rugs. So they had an electric bill with you and a internet bill. They didn't pay you a dime of rent, which again, I think Daniel and Justin should be absolutely ashamed the way they treat Janie. Making their mother live in that place. But that's just me. He's a grown-ass man. Take care. You want a relationship and you have kids, get your ass to work. Go pay a fucking deposit or a house payment like the rest of us. I mean, come on. That's called life. I've been working overtime. That's why I've been late every freaking day, right? My transmission went out. I told you guys that. It happens. That's life. You get your ass to work. He's too busy going around smoking the crack-ola all day long. He's loving that one day a week because he's getting his money, he's getting his unemployment. Get your ass to work.
That was my choice, nobody else's. I don't care what anybody else says. I run my own life. I chose to live out there, and that's what I did. Now, I'm going to bring up some other YouTubers, and I don't care what they say. They can say whatever they want about me. Okay. What is with...
Okay. Now, I have not listened to all of this interview, but I will say I am very upset. Janie did not mention me here, right up here. I am very upset. I figured she had more disdain for me, but I don't know. The night is young.
My dog's name is not Fluffy. My dog's name is Tucker. 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 If you don't hear it, maybe you'll know what it spells.
Okay. I know, fishing, I guess. What charm? Oh, hey, what is it? I was mortified? What about what? What was you mortified about? What was you mortified about?
AB saying
Hey,
that I
Magdalene.
live in an old rundown shack. The clothes I wear, what I do, has nothing to do with Jack and Lilly. That is my life, my personal life. Nothing to do with Jack and Lilly.
No.
The way I choose to live is my.
You know something? Ultimately, I think Jack and Lily are the victims of what Daniel and Malaya put those kids through. Whether that is the rugs that was in the home, the abuse, and the lack of money because of the rugs, which affects everything, right? Their nutrition, their way of life, no coats, clothes, at times having the proper for the season or whatever. Now, with Janie, and all that, I think she is an enabler to Daniel. I understand it's your son and all that, but I think she would probably have a lot more. And you don't know someone's financial situation or how they, so I'm not trying to be harsh in that area because you don't know her income or anything. But I would imagine Janie would have a hell of a lot more if Daniel hadn't sucked her and everyone dry around there. So that's an enabler
Business.
versus Jack and Lily being a victim.
Nobody else's. If I want to live in a cardboard box, I'll live in a cardboard box. So, AB, the only thing I got to say to you is, I don't live with my mommy. Okay? I don't.
Who was that in the background? That didn't sound like Daniel. That didn't sound like Daniel. But you know who does live with his mommy? You know who does live with his mommy, Janie? Right there. Right there. He can't get off mommy's titty, can he? Grown-ass man. Don't pay his mother any rent, anything. Why is she always yelling? I don't know, but I can't. No wonder, no fucking wonder the woman couldn't take a lie detector test. She wasn't, her physiology didn't match. No wonder. Can you imagine Janie? She's always talking like this, always just fucking yelling. Like I said, she would be great to do ASMR bedtime stories. Once upon a time, there was Mother Goose. Come here, grandkids. Come here, grandkids. Once upon a time, Mother Goose was here. That's your mama, right? She went to the store to get a 6-pack of Bud Light, some dog treats, and maybe you a cup of candy. Okay. That's I don't know how she's always I mean, she sounds like she's in the WCW or something like that. Hey, B, good to see you. She sounds like she's in wrestling or whatever the wrestling things are. I remember WCW when I was little. So I don't know what it is now, but uh, I will like, you know.
Live in the basement of my mummy's. I get out and made a life for myself. I don't depend on my mummy. Okay? So
And Janie,
before
you are just one to
you go and sweep my doorstep, you look at your life. Okay? Here's another thing. I am really
Janie, you can't rake your doorstep. Oh my God. Guys, I forgot. Dang it, I forgot. I've got to play something to you guys here in a minute. My goodness gracious. We're going to have intermission in a second because I've got to play you something.
really pissed off with AB, the way he puts down handicapped people, saying he wants to take Kent.
Okay, listen. I have known AB for a long ass time, but before I was a creator. Okay. Now, again, you might love AB. You might not like AB. You may not like me. You may love AB, whatever. But I can tell you, AB is an equal opportunity offender. AB hates everyone equally. It's just the way it is. He hates everyone equally. Okay. And Janie, for you to say that AB does that to like handicapped people, you apparently don't know his situation. I do. I know a lot. I mean, I know more than you, certainly, because you wouldn't begin to say that if you actually knew his situation. That's all I'll say on that. It's not for me to say, but if you knew, so you can just scratch right off right there, by the way. You look really dumb on that one, Janie.
And push him down a hill and videotape him. That is very disrespectful to handicapped people. What he said about his mother when his mother passed away was very disrespectful.
I'm glad you're listening.
You got to
Janie.
remember, AB, you have a handicapped child, too.
Okay.
So what are you saying about your handicapped?
Listen, this is the thing. I mean, this is, you're just, she's just an idiot, really. Sometimes you there's a thing called self-deprecation, and whatever, and like I make fun of me all the time, right? I talk about makeup or whatever. I make fun of me all the time. Lighten the fuck up. Everyone takes herself so seriously.
Child when she's not
Get the
around.
fuck out.
So he is a very disrespectful person. And he thinks nobody is any better. I think, I'm sorry, I have to rephrase that. He thinks he's better than anybody else. So he better sit and look at himself before he starts putting handicapped people down.
Oh, Janie.
Very,
quiet.
very disrespectful.
You guys are going to love what I have to play here in a second. You too, Janie, because I know you're watching.
Yeah,
And Mike, don't get me started on Mike. Mike is this famous analyzer. Very, very famous. He thinks he knows everything.
He's not famous.
Well, let me analyze Mike.
Who was you talking about? Mike. Oh, Demon or whatever. I don't, Demand, whatever his channel is. No. But you can have your opinion just like anybody else, Janie.
Mike, you only hear what you want to hear. That's all you want is negative comments to keep your show going. You disrespect me. You think you're smart, but you're stupid. And if you want to analyze somebody, you better analyze yourself, because you don't know shit about anybody. You don't know anything about me. You don't know about my person.
Damn, Janie is triggered. Hold on, guys. I'm getting this thing ready for you guys.
Personality. You don't know what I'm like. My interview, yes, I was mad. I was very mad because I was getting accused of being a child killer. Who wouldn't be mad? Who wouldn't be pissed off? If these people would sit down that are on their typewriters, on their phones or whatever, instead of typing, why don't they listen?
Janie, we haven't had typewriters since what, the 70s? I don't know. 90s.
Listen for a change. Listen to what people are saying. Don't take and say,
You must have your head so far up someone's ass, because do you know what people are saying, Janie? Like literally 9.8 out of 10 people.
oh,
Which there's not such thing as 9.8 out of 10 people, but don't believe you.
I got to write a negative comment about these people. Oh, they're negative. They're negative. How many people in the chat rooms do you hear say positive things about us? And when they do, they get blocked. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear nothing positive about us. They want just negativity.
No, Janie, listen, you can come in here right now, or anyone can come in here right now and talk so positive about you and stroke your little ego all you want.
That's all YouTubers want to hear. That's all they want to put out there is negativity. No positivity, just negativity. Well, if that is what you make money off,
says someone who literally sounds like the most negative person on the planet. Honestly, Janie, you certainly don't sound like a motivational speaker. Let's be real.
you're going to make a lot tonight there, YouTubers, because they're going to get a lot. People are going to say a lot of negative shit about me, I guess, tonight.
And here we are.
And that's just, I mean, I'm learning fairly quickly that is kind of how people get the views and stuff. And I mean, it's not near what I'm interested in at all. I don't think any of it helps figure out what happened to Jack and Lilly. And obviously there's a lot of built up frustration, and I can't judge you guys I can't even relate to what you guys are going through. So, but I can only imagine how frustrated I would also be hearing the things that you hear. You've got people driving by your house. You've got, death threats coming in, stuff like that. I couldn't even imagine being in your position. So your frustration is clear, and I think for the most part understandable. And I think a lot of people have been waiting to hear from you. And I don't know what they expected after 11 months. I guess you talked in July and that was about it. But it's a lot of built up frustration for sure. I can understand that. And for people saying that I'm just letting Janie go on, yes, that's the point and purpose here, that she has a lot that she wants to get off of her chest. And
almost
after
ready, guys. We
Anita
gotta show you
came to the
this.
forefront, I think that they deserve a place that they can come on and speak their own minds and answer to some of this shit, But I'd like to get back to my questions, and then we will get into all of that in a minute. But just following up on the thing with Darren Geddes, did your brothers or Earl or anybody have anything to say about Darren Geddes to you? Did his name ever, did they ever talk to you about him or any of his past and their dealings with him in the past? Or did they have good things to say about him?
The only thing that I could say is the woman that Darren Geddes goes with is my brother's wife's mother. But probably everybody already knew that. My brother's told me things, but you know what? You don't know a person until you meet them. What they're like. Like somebody asked me, do you know such and such a person? No, I don't know that person. I know of them. But knowing of them and knowing them is two different things. Like, I'm going to say something. I'm going to interrupt you there. I'm going to be Anita and just say something here. Oh, and by the way, if I'm talking and I say, Anita, attention, that's what's all she's looking for. I had, as you know, I had a battle with her. Well, not a battle, but I said a few things in Mike's chat there the other night, what she was saying and everything. Now, she said that she hasn't talked to Malaya since last July. Okay. But apparently she knows everything about everybody. Everything about everybody. I never met this woman. I showed you the thing the other night there. She messaged me. I did not contact her. She messaged me. She forwarded her phone number to me. She wrote something I cannot understand. I asked you.
Sorry, guys. I was trying to give you, I was trying to put this thing together for you guys. Thank you so much again, Helicopter. You're so sweet. Thank you, love. Appreciate you very, very much. Thank you so much. You received that. Make sure you thank Helicopter. We're going to get right back with this. But I'm going to play this because I need to go tinkles. And it's a new song debut that we have here. I'll be back in just 30 seconds or so, okay? Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up. Oops. If you're just joining us or haven't yet.
Janie's got a rake and a real bad streak, stomping through the yard every day of the week. Dog in the camper barking at the wall. Whole little county hear the whole mess squall. Janie's got a rake, Janie's got a rage, mad at the sun and mad at her age. Talk so loud like the truth might shake, but all she's really got is that old damn rake. She said she put a pool up, said it with pride, sold that store far and wide, but the back lot's empty, weeds waist high, that tail fell dead and dry. Dog in the camper raising cane, tin roof rattling in the rain, curtain twitching, boots on dirt. Everybody knows that yard does work. Janie's got a rake, Janie's got spots, scraping up the ground half the night. Mean little look and a jaw set straight, like she's got a day with blame and hate. She talks real big, but the place talks back. Mud in the grass and junk out back. Porch light buzzing, screen door shake. Same old song in the same old rage. Janie's got a rake and a worn out life, throws it around every time folks cry. Claims go up, but the truth don't stay. It blows right off by the light of day. Janie's got a rake that much tracks, more nerve than proof and more bark than facts. Whole town watching while the windows shake. There she goes again. Janie's got a rake.
Yeehaw. Do you like it? What do y'all think? You think? And back to our regular scheduled programming. In other news, I thought that was pretty good. So I will make that available to whoever wants it, including you, Miss Janie. You're welcome.
today, Charmaine, if you could understand what her message was. You couldn't even understand it. So I put question mark. And then the next thing she went, oops. She knew she made a mistake. She messaged me. Now, from what her message said, I would say she was drunk. That was that Monday night after she left Mike's show. After when the Mike and everybody
I don't know
disappeared.
what they're talking about. I really
Went on a
don't
little binger there, eh?
in this part.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you a lot of stuff that Anita's saying is nothing but bull crap. Bull crap. She should get the Oscar, and the winning Oscar goes to Anita Attention.
Anita Attention.
She contradicts herself in so many ways.
So do you.
If you listen to her,
Especially
I'm going to say this. If you, I don't mean to say this, but if you go on to, I don't know if I got her name right or not, Ninja or whatever her name is. She'll break it all down for you. How many times she said this car went by and she passed this car and she passed that car and everything.
Yeah, I believe Nietzsche for sure. If Nietzsche's, yeah.
Else. Does she even know how many cars passed? 2 men show up at her door. They have masks on. She says one of them was my son and Jordan at the first time. The next time she says one was
watch them, so
Daniel
I
and
couldn't
Justin.
even begin to tell you.
She said she got a call from Chance. I talked to Chance about a week ago before.
Now, Janie, you know Chance is the rug dealer.
That. He doesn't even know who
Allegedly.
the hell she is. I didn't even know who in the hell she was until she started coming out on these here YouTube channels and started shooting off. Oh, I was looked after Meadow and I looked after this. Okay, if you were looking after Meadow, how come Meadow was taken away from Malaya then? If you were such a good caretaker.
I don't believe anybody was looking
Why
after
was Meadow taken away from Malaya then?
I don't believe anybody was looking after Meadow, probably other than family.
If you were supposed to be looking after her between you and Cindy, why was she taken away from her? Can you answer me that question there, Anita? Attention. I could go on and on about Anita. Anita's full of bullshit. She don't know me. She wants to go and have tea with me. I'm sorry. I don't have a $1,500 ring on my finger or a $1,700, whatever. I don't give a shit what the price is. I don't drive a Mercedes Benz. I don't live at a B&B. Do you know what, Charmaine? I would be happy with a pop ring on my finger, a 2-seat bicycle so I could take somebody with me, and I live in an RV, and I'm perfectly happy and content. Luxury things don't interest me. I could care less what she has. I don't care if she runs a business. I don't care if her husband or her boyfriend or where in the hell she is.
Why are you talking about
runs her business. She is the woman. She wears the pants in the family, and that's all there is to it. She's got Mike so pussy whipped that he doesn't even know what to say anymore. I'm not coming in here and telling you to let me talk. Keep quiet, Charmaine. I have to say this. Listen to me. I'm not doing that.
I don't know. You're not wrong, Janie. None of it. Sir.
Okay, 1 second here.
Who is he?
These questions.
Still to this day, you've still never heard his name. Then he's obviously not related.
Like, what do you want me to do, Anita? Go and slap Jordan or go and slap Chance's hands for being a bad boy?
Why don't you start with your son? So how about that, Janie? How about start with him?
No, it's not Chance. I guarantee I'm going to say this, and this is my opinion and my opinion only. I think that Anita set this whole Chance thing up. She got somebody to call her and send her oven mitts. Yeah, about oven mitts. And I'm saying oven mitts. Yeah, about oven mitts. Where did you hear about the oven mitts? And I said, from the conversation that you had with this person. You sent it to me twice. Just to
I don't know who this lady
have
is.
nothing to
I don't really.
If Darren wouldn't have started going on like he did, Jordan wouldn't have been brought into this. So Jordan, I feel sorry for you. I understand what you're going through.
listen, Daniel and Jordan were friends a long time before. I mean, Durwood shouldn't have brought his son
because
into
I'm
it.
going through the same thing.
Spoke about it either, but they
And
were friends.
Chance, I feel sorry for you too, because I'm going through the same thing. And you should have never been brought into this, in my opinion. And Anita's just ruining a lot of lives, bringing people into it that have nothing to do with this. Like, yes,
Janie, your son has ruined so many lives. What are you fucking talking about? Every relationship Daniel gets into, he's controlling, he's manipulating, he's physical, allegedly. Well, and now he's being charged for things. So, regardless of how I feel about any of the others, it's still not as bad as Daniel.
yesterday she asked me if I knew a
Your
black
son.
truck with 2 dogs in it. And I said, why? I said,
Tucker.
is it somebody else that you want to ruin their lives over? Like your bullshit?
How long does she talk
She's
about
on-
this?
Think, you know what? It's going to come back and bite you in the ass. And pray when those kids are found that Mike and AB and all these other channels get shut down for all the accusations, all the lies, all the bullshit.
I hope whoever did this to Jack and Lilly is put under the jail. And anyone who has known anything and says anything, Janie.
That they have said against us.
Oh, yeah, I'm good. She's just...
So if they haven't found the
It just
kids yet,
sucks,
dead,
man.
it's still a missing person. There's no
Yes, Mama.
criminal activity. There's no bodies. There's nothing. So
No, that's what you want us to think, Janie. Or that's what your son is telling you, or conjuring up for you to think. None of that is true. None of that is true. Do you even know what's going on in your son's case right now? Does she just believe everything? She thinks nothing's going on in Jack and Lily's case. There's no bodies. They're not looking for him. Nothing's going on. They're not speaking to us. Let me tell you something. That's when usually people get worried, when they're not speaking to you anymore.
if the RCMP and the investigators gave up on searching for those kids, they must feel the kids are still alive.
Janie, do you not realize, did you watch the interview of your son saying that the RCMP told him directly, Daniel, we think you did something to Jack and Lilly Thursday night? Do you not remember hearing that? So I don't know if you think the RCMP is going to drop a 4 and a 6-year-old's case and just not talk about it anymore and think that there's just nothing going on. But you have lost your mind, lady. What have you conjured up in your head to make you believe this BS? I mean, the fumes of Daniel's pipe has to be getting to you by now for you to believe that. I'm stumped on that one, guys. Who's laughing in the background? Daniel, Justin, another Crackolamethala head.
Right.
Taka.
And I want everybody to know that the other night when we were talking about Anita on my channel, I had made a comment that if it keeps up, Chance could lose his job. And guess what? Chance lost his job. So Chance and Jordan both have been negatively affected by this case, and they've had no involvement.
I think those two have been negatively affected by their own actions, in my
If they
opinion.
did have involvement, that's not for the public to decide. But,
It's not for the public
certain
to
people
decide,
in the
but the
public
public can have an opinion.
successfully cost them their livelihood now at this point. And for what? Because you think something? Just real quick before I lose this comment, you talked to me earlier, Janie, about something that Mike DeMann had said, or you said to Mike DeMann about Malaya had done something stupid. Had she not done something stupid? Can you explain to everybody what you meant by that comment?
Yes, I can, Charmaine, and I will tell it. I hope some of Mike's listeners are in your chat tonight, and they can forward this. If not, please, Mike, please please get off your high horse and listen to this channel tonight. And I will tell you, Malaya made a stupid mistake. The stupid mistake
Listen to
she
this.
made was, now she could give those kids to somebody and not be charged with abduction because they're her children. If she let them go with her grandmother or she let them go with Joe Blow down the road, okay,
Listen.
there wouldn't have been nothing done about it. But yet she called the RCMP and reported the kids missing. Now, you heard Daniel saying she asked Daniel if she should call 911. Okay, she did call 911. That was her stupidest mistake she ever done, because if she knows where those kids are, she shouldn't have never got the RCMP involved, because look at what.
Janie, you are, I mean, it's she's had to do a lot of gymnastics, mental gymnastics, to get where she's at in her head today. She really has to be, or she's floating on denial, one or the other. Good luck with either one of them. Janie, are you essentially saying she shouldn't have called 911 and none of this would have happened? It's again, this is why I don't understand how anybody sides with Malaya or Daniel and Janie. I don't get it, how they'd side with one or the other, because they essentially have the same alibi of laying in bed together that morning, seeing, hearing the kids, all of that. Janie sees them last. Or sorry, hears them last. I apologize. She says she hears them last. And yet doesn't question, just minutes after she hears them, where they're gone, or how long it's been whenever you heard them last. It again, how does one who supports Malaya rationalize that in their head? How does one who supports Daniel rationalize it in your head whenever they have the same fucking story? They are both lying out their ass. Now remember, it was Durwood that said Malaya passed the children off to someone. How would he know? Well, I've got Daniel speaking about that too. I can show you some text messages as well. It's they don't want, when he says someone came up, the dog was barking and someone came up to the the house and the dog barked and the person might have said, shh.
What happened now? Now she's so far into it, she don't know how to get out of it.
I think
That's all
you're all,
she had to say. If she gave those kids to somebody, she could have.
yeah, and all Daniel has to say is, if he knows, which there's not a doubt. In my opinion, there's not a doubt in my mind that both of them don't know. Say it and get it over with, right? That's what you're telling Malaya to do. Well, say that to your son as well, and you got to know a little bit more as well.
Said they went with so and so, and then there wouldn't have been none of this. She better sit down and take a good hard look about how many lives she has ruined by doing this. She ruined my life. She ruined Daniel's life. She ruined Chance's life. She ruined Jordan's life. She ruined Jack and Lily's life. She ruined Meadow's life. She ruined my other two grand.
My God, it's amazing to me. Again, listen to this. Malaya did all of this. Malaya, why don't you look at your son equally, if not more? It's amazing to me. Ruined.
In children's lives. Like us grown-ups can deal with it, but I sit here every day wondering how Jack and Lily are dealing with this, how my other two grandchildren are dealing with. Are they getting bullied at school? Like, what's going through their minds hearing all this or going to hear all this? And I said this to the Mike on his channel, when I was talking to him. I said, when the kids are older and see this, how is it going to affect their lives? Hearing their grandmother and their father and what happened. And you know what he says? You don't have to worry about Jack and Lily. They were gone May 1st.
I agree with that.
It's out there saying, people now are saying that between 8 and 10, this is what Mike Demand's saying, between 8 and 10, something happened to those kids. And when Daniel checked on them at 12 o'clock, they were deceased.
I think it could be after 8, but I think it's probably closer 10 to 12, in my opinion. I think it was they were fighting that evening, all that. I think they wanted him to go to bed. They were bitching about money. They were fighting about that. They were fighting about their relationship. They wouldn't go to bed. And I think there was frustration and someone snapped.
Okay, if he's saying this, well, if that's what he's saying, that they were deceased at 12 o'clock, how in the hell could the dog kill them then if they were deceased in bed?
I don't believe it.
Like, people are not thinking what they're saying.
I don't think a dog.
Like, he's saying 1 minute the dogs killed them, and the next minute they were found deceased in bed. And then Anita says, "Oh,
I don't believe
the
either
kids
one
are
of
still
that,
alive."
in my opinion.
And then she says, "No, they're dead. Chance killed them. Daniel killed them. Janie killed them." Which is it? I can tell you which it is nobody killed those kids.
I think it's good to keep hope, but I think that I don't want to say a waste of time exactly, but I just don't think that searching the woods anymore is going to find anything good. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're searching the woods, they believe the children are not alive anymore. That's just the facts of it. So why are their pictures not being put out far and wide? If people think that they're alive, then we need to be pushing to get their faces out there. The billboards are a great idea, but do you know what I mean? Like, they're bringing, "Please bring me home in" to search the woods, and they were out in the woods today searching again. And you're not searching for 2 live children at that point when you're out in the woods.
Well, here's something you can ask. Somebody get on YouTube or on Brad's Facebook and ask Brad. He said the cars went so far of a distance, this way or that way, right? It changes every time. Ask Bradley how far the car went. If the car only went so far, there's where your area is. They searched, I don't know how many acres of land here to find those kids. So if the car only went up to as far as the railroad tracks and turned, and then went down as far as Lyric Road and turned, and we kept doing, and this car kept.
I think the kids are close. I think they're probably a little further out
Doing this
than
here route.
Janie's saying.
How many times? I don't know. If he heard the car coming and going, he should know how far the car went. If he says he could hear it all the way down to Lyric Road, and Justin heard it up to the railroad tracks. Okay, if that's where far the car went, there's your distance.
Right.
I'm trying to show y'all something.
Right. And yeah, I know Daniel and I kind of went through that map before as well. Just looking at the route, and it just, I don't know what to think about any of that stuff, but you guys would know because you're right there. You're in the area, you know, and nobody on Lansdowne, from my understanding, ever owned a Kia Rio. And there is a smaller black loud car, but we're not going to discuss who that.
We're gonna come right back to this. I just want to show you something about how your son lies. Inconsistency, Janie. This is a text message coming from your son. He says, my mom was napping and came outside because she heard me yelling that morning for the kids. Malaya was playing on her phone. Well, if Malaya was playing on her phone, first of all, how do you know? If you weren't, how do you know? Was you awake as well? Second of all, she would know exactly as well whenever the kids went missing if she was just there playing on her phone, right? But you two conjure up a different story in front of the cameras, right? Mom came out and said Malaya had a look of worry in her eyes that mom was home. No tears. She wasn't scared. The kids were gone. Just a look of worry, like she got caught for something wrong. Thought he said Malaya's phone was dead. Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey, Shy, good to see you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It just shows you how many just stories, right? Just the absolute stories. She will go as long as she can, but this is your son, Janie, but will crack after her mental health is put to the test with exams. I'm saying too much. I believe they're alive, and Malaya knows who drove them off the property. Malaya will crack soon. Not one person in her family speaks to bring the kids home. No one knew it started after Meadow was born. She also said the kids are in the woods. Stupid me to believe that, and I searched and searched. They can't. Then the kids would be moved to a different location. That makes me wonder. Very few people, I was talking about this in the beginning of the live stream, if they move, if they are involved in dumping remains, very few move them. But with comments like this, it makes me wonder. Right. Motive is unclear, but by this, the looks of it is mounting, is trying to frame me of the accusations are mounting. Now, Janie, do you believe your son when he says, I'm led to think that the involvement by someone was that known to the kids, hence no abduction? So, and relative RCMP also believes the same because the statement was released by them. I gave investigators every location I could come up with. Dogs cost between $50,000 and $75,000 to bring in. He says around 12 p.m., kids are sleeping. I think he means 12 a.m. A little while later, I go to bed. Malaya marks the kids absent at 6:17 and 6:18. That does the night before in the morning. 6:17 and 6:18. That does the night before in the morning. I was asleep when they were marked absent. You was asleep when they were marked absent. Interesting, Daniel. I recalled RCMP to retrieve the large portion, meaning the blanket, from the garbage bin by the road at the house when I first heard about the piece being found in a tree. We both woke up at the same time and proceeded outside. That is not how someone with missing kids speak when they're telling truth. We proceeded outside. That's not how someone talks about their kids missing or family members missing. I have to hold back on some things because I don't want to harm the case. You mean you don't want yourself to get in trouble, right, Daniel? If I said everything, it's not fair if we want justice. You're insane. Daniel says, I believe they're alive and Malaya knows who drove them off the property. Okay, I think I read that one before. Daniel says that Malaya was great with his kids. Let me see here. This one's interesting. Yeah, she wanted birth certificates, school pictures, and one stuffed animal of Jack and Lilly. No one good thing. She went on and on about trauma for the first year. Over and over, I had to say to her, stop it. Yes, it's not her hiding them. It's so interesting, Daniel says here, that it's not Malaya hiding them, but he says he'll visit her and Meadow in the prison as well. And this is where the reservation, reservation BS starts, where he's talking about him and Durwood. She doesn't have the mental foresight to understand the complex nature of what she was about to do. 2 missing kids, at the same time, 1 in a million. Can you believe him? In the school messenger app that used to report absence, her both parents get an email after the kids checked out. So if Dan is on the kids' school docs emergencies, he would get an email too. Yeah. He says he didn't though. I think it was just Malaya's phone, from what I understand. He means what's the likelihood? What he's saying here is, what's the likelihood of two kids going missing at the same time? 1 in a million is basically what he's saying right there. She fell in love with Meadow, and Jack and Lilly fell to the wayside. I lived it. I took care of Lily and Jack. She only cared for Meadow. I don't believe that. I think Jack and Lily were put to the wayside by just about everyone on that property. And that's what really, really saddens me, to be quite. It just feels like they were failed. It's all done on an app. Yeah. Yeah. But you know something, Kiki? He may have actually gotten an email, because he got a text of an email. I don't know if someone sent it to him or if he got the email. Who will need to move on. Thank you, Charmaine. Of course, darling. Thank you so much. Is her lawyer family agreement? We both have family lawyers. Court battle for Meadow. Daniel says here, the kids. It was a normal day for me, but she had different plans, meaning Malaya. They don't have on what they think they had on. I'll leave it there. I'm playing with the fire, speaking out. The kids don't have on what we think they had on. Right. She doesn't want them, only Meadow. What? You know something? I just noticed something. Excuse me. What kind of what's his name? What's his name? I can't think of his name. Wade. I think his name's Wade. What did he say? What kind of vehicle, or kind of clothing was in Daniel's car? Because Daniel says here, her Barbie top is here at my place. Because remember, he didn't want to tell what kind of Barbie, or what kind of top it, or what kind of clothes Jack and Lily was wearing. Remember, she used his phone to mark absent on Friday. Yes. Was it a Barbie top? Didn't he say it was like a Barbie something? That makes me wonder now, because Daniel says right here, her Barbie top is here at my place. He said like a pink hoodie or something like that. I have everything the kids own and all Malaya's belongings as well. Nothing, took nothing except 2 of my shirts she stole. That bothers me. This bothers me as much as the car, maybe even more, is those 2 shirts. And again, you want to know my opinion? Remember when Daniel said the RCMP was talking about the stoves? The stove inside his home? I think that's why they were talking about it, because of these shirts particularly. One dark navy blue and one white. Hey, Sharon. Yeah. In my opinion, some parents only like babies because they're always held and you don't have to chase them and keep them up and down. And they start walking and running around, in my opinion. Janie has a wash of spinner. She sure does. Justin, he also said he found the 2 missing shirts. Oh, yeah, but he didn't find it. He got rid of those mofos. He got rid of them quickly. One dark navy blue and one white. The clothes were switched out that morning by whom? Can you please tell us, Daniel, what you believe Lily and Jack were wearing? And then he's still talking about his shirts. I wore both during the search. Navy blue one first night and white one second day. Okay, that's wild. I can't tell you because it's part of their investigation on the clothes they wore. The kids. It was a normal day for me, but she had different plans. They don't have on what they think they had on. I'll leave it there. I'm playing with speaking out. Oh, that was a photo of, this is the rug heroin, right? That's how little it takes to overdose a person. Fentanyl. This is how much it takes to just a few specks. And carfenol, it takes about 1 grain, 2 grains to overdose a person. I will tell them I wasn't sure if my email had came through. Did you email me? Joyous, is that what you mean, honey? Oh, Andrea, if you can, I just got your email. If you can, I see what you meant. If you can email me or text me the link of your channel and I can check if you are blocked. Okay. Let me see here. Pull this right up. So, Miss Junkyard Janie, I don't know what your problem is, lady. It's truly bizarre to me. Hold your ears.
Belongs to, but I mean, the information came from some.
Let me find this. Oh, shit. Oh my God. 1 second here. What am I doing? Okay. Lord have mercy on a country boy. Okay, here we go. Sorry. I'm trying to find the spot where we were at.
Like,
Okay.
He didn't just make it up, right? But whose vehicle it was could have been.
So she has no proof. That's what I'm reaching out to you. You come to me. You came to me at first.
Where does the question start?
Not coming out, even if he puts it on members only. You know, I'm blocked.
You're going to be teared down to the lowest, because you know what? You tore me down to the lowest. Same with AB. You said a lot of stuff about me.
Did she mention me?
Kids are found over. Like, warning, when this is all over and those kids are found alive, he's going to be put in his place, because when this is all over, Mike, you better watch yourself, because I'm going on.
Doesn't
and
mention
you know
me.
what? You're going to be teared down to the lowest. because you know
Mad
what?
Janie.
You tore me down to the lowest. Same with AB. You said a lot of stuff about me, AB. Guess what? I'm not going to stop people from saying what they want to say about you.
Do you
So,
see?
my
Do you see what her concern is right now? You see what her concern is? Her concern is about her. That's it. Her and Danny, and how people. I know. Darn it.
fair warning, when this is all
Maybe
over,
after this
and I
phone
got
call is-
nothing. I got nothing to lose now. But when this is all over, you wait. Your time's coming. I believe in karma. I do.
As her son is literally being charged with assault, right? Sexual assault, SEXUAL assault, right? And confinement. And she has 2-step grandkids missing. She could be spending her time wisely talking about them. She's worried about others who might, not believe her bullshit. I'm upset, Sandwich. I mean, damn, I thought I would be like,
And your times are
he's top
coming.
3.
And that's not a threat. And you know what? That's a promise. And you know what? Promises are meant to be broken.
What does she mean by that? She's like, that's not a threat. That's a promise. I get that part. But she says, and promises are meant to be broken. The fuck?
Sorry. Okay. So there's a number of questions that our little helper has pointed out for me.
Okay, this is where she starts talking
And
about
some
these
of them I've
questions
already
here.
asked,
This is
so I'll skip
interesting.
over them, but
It doesn't joy us.
so do you know if the dogs hit on 3 spots in your yard? Like where
And promises are meant to be broken. Isn't that right, Tucker? Isn't that right? Like I said, I'd go get you a dog treat, but I really didn't, Tucker. Right? I mean, the news station came here, and I gave them 2.5 hours. They gave me a couple packs of cigarettes and a dog treat, and they manipulated me. Okay? So, that's not that's a promise, and it's not a threat. That's promise. She says, and promises are meant to be broken. Okay, Tucker, come here, you little corn shucker.
exactly did they hit?
Dogs hit on 3 spots. Well, let's see.
You know something? I have not. You guys are late. I haven't done late slips in a while. What is wrong with me? Miss Maurice, you are late to the office, please. Tucker lives with a sucker. A mother sucker. Thank you, Joe Hiker. It was the Backwoods Sopranos. Yeah. I wouldn't give him that much credit.
None. The dogs came here. They were free range.
Yes.
The dogs could go anywhere they wanted to.
Everyone knows what a free range dog is, right? We all know what a free range dog is. Right? We all know what a free range dog is. This is an actual picture of Janie standing on her porch with a morning coffee, looking out at the chicken horizon with her free range Tucker. Okay? This is it. This is with a free range Tucker. Yeah. That's it. Right there, people. Right there.
My dog's name is not Fluffy. My dog's name is Tucker. Tucker. Tucker.
Tucker.
If you don't hear it, maybe you'll know what it spells.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Oh my God, I almost ended the stream right there. Okay. Tucka. Can't you spell Tucka? Tuckah. Spelling bees. Magdalena Justin, you son of a chicken. Here are you happy now? Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Magdalena. Appreciate you, darling. Thank you, lovies. What promises are meant to be broken? What does that have to do with Jack and Lilly? Well, she's not worried about Jack and Lilly here. She's worried about some small YouTuber on YouTube that, I don't know, maybe she's talked to him before. I don't know.
The RCMP fellow that was with them, there was an RCMP officer and there was investigator here with the dog on this property. Up at the other spot, there was the RCMP officer with the dog and 2 search and rescue people. Okay? When the dogs came on here, I'll tell you, when the dogs came on here,
yes, baby,
he let the dog go. The dog was free range. The dog was free to go wherever he wanted.
Free range.
If the dog stopped somewhere and smelled something, the RCMP fellow went over and checked it. There was no spots. No spots here at all. They never found nothing. The dogs were here part of the day, the first day, then, and the other dog was up at the pipeline or up at the blanket. When the guy left here, they all went up to the blanket spot. The dog searched up there. The next day, the buddy that had the dog up at the blanket spot, he took his dog down here. His dog came here the next day. He was free range. He went anywhere he wanted to. The RCMP and the investigator followed him.
Free range.
Then they took both dogs out. Both dogs went around the yard. They sniffed here, then they left, and then they went up to the pipeline. So if there was anything found here on this property, those dogs would have found it. So people, if you still think the kids are buried out here where I was...
God, Janie, you haven't had your pipeline since 1967. But you know something? Which kind of brings me enjoyment. Daniel's about ready to have his pipeline in a minute. I'm going to tell you that. He gets it
put in the pool. Please, as I said, call the RCMP, call the investigators, have an excavator out here, dig up whatever you want in my yard. Please, feel free.
Yeah, fair. Okay, so the rules tonight, Janie, were I didn't want any kind of ignorant comments or accusatory questions or anything like that. Like, I don't want to hear where Jack and Lilly. That's asking.
He's about the answers. Really good.
I know nothing about. That's a question you have.
Abuse and neglect.
Listen to this.
He's had black eyes, and is it true?
Listen to this. This really makes me
angry.
angry.
Is it true the kids had black eyes, and is it true the school reported abuse and neglect?
That's a question you would have to ask Daniel. I know.
Okay, Janie. This makes me really angry right here. Because she deflects. She absolutely deflects here, and that enrages me. Right? You are, Grandma Huffalump, whatever, the step grandma. You would get Jack off the and Lily off the bus, and you would get them. You would say Jack at the school. All of this, and you saw them the night before. You would watch them if they would come outside. But you don't know if Jack and Lily had black eyes and you saw them. You knew what was going on in that house. Come on now. That's crazy to me. That's insane to me. Thank you, Sammy. Appreciate Jenny. In my opinion, that statement makes zero sense. It's bullshit. As Janie would say, you kill me, Justin, with your impersonations. Thank you so much, Sammy. Appreciate you, my dear. It's very kind of you. I really do appreciate you, Miss Sammy, and thank you for being a member as well, my friend. What? Oh my gosh, Joyce, thank you so much, honey. That's very, very, very generous of you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Joyous. Appreciate that as well. I really feel everyone needs to take some Tylenol. Her yelling is too much. It's only about Jack and Lily, period, not you, Janie. Thank you. And they've wasted, like, Malay. You know what's interesting? Malaya hasn't wasted any time on her kids, so to speak. And Lily, sorry, not Lily, Janie and Daniel have wasted all kinds of time, right? They talk about everything that, doesn't really matter. So, they deflect on every question. Well, you need to ask Daniel. You've never asked this question in a year, Janie? Right. I know Charmaine, she's just going to let her answer the question, and how she answers it. She answers because Charmaine's not like me. She's not very confrontational. She just kind of lets them, and where it falls, where it falls. And everyone has their own style. And that's why, Janie won't come to someone like me or deception detective, because it would be pretty hard for him probably to nail them in their place. Love the impressionations, Justin. Thank you so much, Joe Hiker. Appreciate you very much, my friend. Really appreciate you. It's my way of just like, I think it's my way of taking out stress when I just want to scream at these people. So I
know nothing about the school. I went to pick Jack up a few times from school. That's all I had to do with school. So that's a question that you'll have to, better yet, ask Malaya. Ask Malaya these questions, people, or ask Cheryl. Oh, ask Cheryl. Cheryl speaks for Malaya. Ask Cheryl. Get Cheryl to ask Malaya. Malaya will transfer.
Now, why are you deflecting? Why are you deflecting, Janie? Again, Cheryl doesn't need someone to speak for, or Malaya doesn't need someone to speak for. I don't know why they have Cheryl and 7 other people in front of Malaya like she's, a prized possession here, some fragile little thing in shipping, but like precious cargo or something. But Malaya needs to answer her own damn answers. And it's not for me, not for you, not for anyone else, but for Jack and Lily, because Jack and Lily are out there. And if she's so innocent and doesn't know anything, well, speak up. Not for anybody else, just Jack and Lily.
To Cheryl, and Cheryl will give you the answer. So please ask Cheryl.
Have you ever considered that Daniel and Malaya had done something together with the kids?
No.
Listen. Again, that's the thing that gets me out of all of this. How can one person or these people just be on, believe one of them, but not believe the other? They were in bed together, right? On their phones or dozing in and out, hearing, seeing Jack and Lily, but in bed together. No one got up. Like, Janie, how do you believe that? How do people believe?
Do you mean in death-wise or disappearance or what?
Disappearance. I think just they didn't specify. They just said, do you possibly consider that Daniel and Malaya could have done something together?
No, no, I don't believe, because I'll tell you something right now. I believe my son 100%,
Black bear.
and he had nothing to do with the disappearance of Jack and Lily. And he had nothing to do with unaliving those children. Those kids are still alive. And I'll say that to the day I die, or until they're found.
She believes her son, she says.
Have you ever seen a black eye on Lily or Jack?
Listen to this.
No, I have not. And if they did get black eyes, it was from each other, because I'll tell you something. I used to come in here, even when I babysat them.
Played a part of
They
this
are
last
typical
night.
kids. When one kid does something and the other kid doesn't agree with it, of course that kid is going to hit the other kid. I've seen Jack pull Lily's hair before. I've seen Jack throw things at Lily. I've seen Lily do something to Jack, and then Jack would do something to Lily, and then Lily would go cry to her mother and say, Jack did this to me and Jack did that to me. Or vice versa. Lily did this to me, or Lily did that to me. They're typical kids. They're 4 and 6 years old. I wasn't there. I wasn't over at Patty's when apparently Lily got her black eye. I don't know what happened when she got her black eye.
Daniel said she had black eyes, or they had black eyes all the time. I've never seen a 4 and a 6-year-old ever have black eyes all the time. Like, they're the most clumsy things ever. Do you know what force it takes? I mean, think about all the places you can be hit on your body, right? Anywhere in your body. But it takes direct force enough to bust blood vessels to get a bruise or a black eye. Do you know how often you would have to be hit? And how hard you would have to be hit just to get that? I truly cannot imagine these poor kids. I honest to God can't. I get like these, I think these things in my head, and I'm just like, I just cannot imagine what Jack and Lily went through. And for this, Janie, just to, why don't you go ask Malaya? Why don't you go ask your son? Only black eye I ever had was from my mother. I've never had a black eye. I've had bruises, but I've not had black eyes. But most people have not had a lot of black eyes. I don't care how clumsy you are or not. It's not the way it works. That's just not the way it works. That only works that way if you have someone who, when they are an abuser and triggered, automatically go like, you'll have some abusers who go for the eye, right? They'll knock you right in the eye. You have some abusers that will do that. You have some that will do other things. They generally go to the same spot when they're triggered.
If it happened over
Like a
at
second nature to
Patty's,
the
it happened
abuser.
at Patty's.
Thank you.
Have I seen any abuse in this house? Have I ever seen Malaya or Daniel hit those kids? No, not when I'm around. I have never seen Jack. I have never seen Daniel or Malaya ever hit those kids. I've seen them put in their rooms for being bad or put in the corner for being bad, but I've never seen them hit those kids when I'm around here. And believe me, I'm in here quite a few times during the day.
She's in here quite a few times during the day, but she doesn't know anything that was going on with Jack and Lily, right?
Okay.
She goes in that trailer she tells on herself quite a few times during the day, but she never knew what was going on in the house. Because in other interviews, she said she didn't go over there
And what?
very
Okay,
often.
so just 1 second. What do you think? Did you hear about Durwood and that toolbox story?
No, I didn't hear anything about the toolbox story from Darren. Daniel told me that he was out.
Okay, we went through these questions here yesterday. I want to fast forward it to some other questions. So if you didn't hear these questions, go watch it on Charmaine's or watch my lab with my reaction yesterday on this. I want to go past this. I'll never get through it.
Roots would like to know if the kids had gone missing before or even.
Let me see here. It's right here.
They don't discriminate, right? They're going to bark at people they know. Pretty somebody and took them, the kids, or do you think that Janie, do you think somebody came in the place and snatched the kids,
Now listen
or
to
do you
this.
think that somebody helped lead them out and took them?
I know somebody led them out because, as I said, when they get outside that fence, they would have been yelling and screaming and hollering. So somebody had to take them.
But Janie, wouldn't they have been yelling and screaming and hollering whenever they were inside the fence? When your dog barked and you said you heard them playing? And mods, can y'all drop my email, please? Joyce wants my email.
Them out of that, and I am suspecting it was Malaya that took those kids out of this house.
How could Malaya, again, Janie, people that support Daniel and Janie and Malaya, ask yourself, it's easy to say, oh, I think Malaya or I think Daniel, but ask yourself the timeline, the questions, their alibi, right? That they were in bed together and they heard, and Daniel seen the kids. She heard the kids in bed together. And Janie, you heard them after they heard and seen Jack or at least Lily and heard Jack. So how did Malaya take them out that morning? Again, that morning, in my opinion, did not happen the way that they said it happened. I think by 5 a.m., everything that was done was done.
It took them and gave them to somebody. That's my opinion.
And then Bonnie, just wanted to let you know that it's not your fault, not at all. You were not their parent. They expected too much, I feel. That is the parent's place. Absolutely, I agree. Thank you for that. Janie, do you find it strange that Malaya made the call to 911 before talking to you or checking the trailer regardless of the dog situation? I just feel that it would have been the first spot I checked. And that makes a lot of sense too. That was actually one of my first questions, is because when we found out the mother-in-law lived 40 feet away, my first thought would be, I'm going to go check my mom's place or whatever. Do you have any thoughts of why they wouldn't come and check with you first to see if the kids were inside with you?
The thing that why they didn't come and check with me is because apparently they thought I was away. See, every Friday.
Sorry, I was gabbing there and y'all didn't see her. Again, doesn't matter if they thought you were away or not. First of all, they would have heard you if Uncle Ron would have pulled up, right, to get you. Tucker barks, all of that. Number two, whether you were gone or not, doesn't matter. They would have still checked the property. Again, I said earlier, isn't it interesting how you don't hear Daniel, Janie, or Malaya speaking about how they searched the outside, their yard, the buildings, or anything that morning. They just both run up to where the kids' cabins are, and then they all, Janie says she goes here, and Daniel gets in his car. Um, Nothing on the, they're not looking on that property, which is weird. That's the first place you're going to look, is all over that property and the buildings and all that. Second of all, you're going to make sure that door, they're at least going to come to the door and knock on it, or see if that door, the camper, is open or not, to see if Jack and Lily could have got in it even while you were gone. That's just common sense.
As they said, I was going with my brother to town, so they must.
And it's so interesting, Janie, how everyone reports locally, it's small town, isn't it? How they don't see you with your brother on Fridays. Haven't seen you with your brother for a year in town. Janie did not tell Daniel and Malay. That's exactly right. Exactly right, Joyce. I mean, particularly after, that's what I was talking about, I think yesterday. If you had just heard children, right? If you had just heard, heaven forbid anything this happens to anybody, but your children, your grandchildren, kids outside playing, and someone comes to your door, or let's say it's a neighbor that comes to your door, but you heard the kids outside, your neighbor's kids outside, and they said, "Oh my God, have you seen or heard my kids?" And you would say, "Well, yeah, they was just outside. I just seen them or heard them." That's the first thing, or you say, if you did, you said, "Yes, I would just seen him or heard him." And if you didn't, you'd say, "No, I haven't seen or heard him." In this case, Janie had heard the kids, and her dog barked at the kids. But even after, Janie's first question is, how long had Jack and Lily been missing? You just heard them. You was the last one to hear them. Why would the last person that heard Jack and Lily say, how long has it been? What do you mean, how long has it been? You just heard them. It's not really a good look, Janie. And this is makes me think that you're not telling the truth.
Must have thought I was away. That's why they didn't come over and see if I heard the kids or anything, because they didn't expect me to be home.
Okay.
Second of all, if they didn't expect you to be home, right? They didn't expect you to be home. If there was anybody that lived on my property, and whether they were gone or not, if they were gone, they're going to be called first thing. They're going to be called first thing. Right? And second of all, Janie, you said they didn't, we know that they didn't go to the trailer or anything. Well, Malaya wasn't looking. She said she had meadow on her hip or whatever. That wouldn't stop me from looking. If I had to put my kid, the baby, in one of the, the like the backpack thingies, I would have done that. Or I would have said, hold my kid, something like that. Like, I wouldn't not look as well.
And I think we've heard Daniel has a Dodge Journey. Do you know what happened to it? I know what happened to it, but do you know what happened to it?
Dodge Journey. Kiki.
The Dodge Journey is gone. It went for scrap. And yes, it was checked by the investigators and the RCMP. All vehicles in this property were checked by RCMP.
Why does nobody besides Janie talk about RCMP searching vehicles? Because Daniel said they didn't. And you don't hear anything about them searching about vehicles.
Investigators, and God knows how many searchers have looked in the cars. We had a dryer out at the end of the driveway. You want to know how many people looked in that dryer? I could count them on my hands and my toes hundreds of times. Oh, everybody that came in this yard looked in that dryer. Everybody looked in the vehicles. My car was actually searched by a cadaver dog.
And as silly as some of those places sound, it's
Yeah. And the question would be, Robin, as well, did Janie, did she take her dog when she went to town? Right? Did she take her dog when she went to town? If she didn't, that dog would be barking, wouldn't they? That dog would be barking. If Jack and Lilly was around.
It makes me feel more confident
Like
that
after
they did thoroughly search.
Like if she wasn't home
Everything on the property.
and they were going to go to the trailer.
Right? So, I mean, in that way, it's good. Even if it sounds silly to you, it's good that they were thorough in their search, at least there. Roots would like to know if the kids had gone missing before, even for a short amount of time.
Well, as the YouTuber said that Jack has gone away before, but that's when she lived in Truro with her grandmother. Apparently, Jack took off from her care before.
That's right.
Yeah, but they wouldn't go out to the woods by themselves. I
Black
know I asked
Dan
you
at
guys
Daddy's
earlier
house.
today, just because the forts were so close. Was that something that they did on their own? And I know that you had told me no, they just never did that.
When we used to go for walks,
Mhm.
Daniel and I and my other two grandchildren and Jack and Lily, I would have to carry Jack through the woods
Mhm.
because he couldn't make it over the brush or the undergrowth or everything. I would end up carrying Jack. So no, they wouldn't go in the woods. But as I said, when she told me that, the first thing you think of is maybe they went up to their cabins and maybe followed the road.
Daniel crashed the car sometimes in the fall, wasn't it? It was like late fall, I want to say. I can't remember. Thought Daniel crashed her vehicle before the cadaver dogs came. It was right about that time. No wonder Janie said she wouldn't let him drive the four-wheeler. I kind of get that now, Ruby. But why did she let him drive her car? Like, this man has wrecked every vehicle No wonder. No wonder Earl's got a junkyard. And they have the just random cars in their yard. Of course they do. Daniel's wrecked every one of them. It's crazy. Crossing my fingers that the current situation on DM sticks and then he serves. Oh, yeah, I think so. I hope so. Yes, that is exactly right, Kelly. He was supposed to go see Meadow that day. Yeah. And he wrecked his dad's car. His dad's car wasn't very old, I don't think. I think that's why it is. I think it's what it is. How crazy is it that out of all this crap in the yard, the Dodge Journey is scrapped? Anything else scrapped? I think theirs is. Yeah. I agree that the property wasn't fully checked for Jack and Lilly, and Daniel got Malaya's car to check culverts and dirt roads. Yeah, he's there's a lot of craziness around it. Lots of craziness. Guys, I've almost been here 3 hours. My God. It's 11:20. I'm gonna wrap it up. I really wanted to do another live on Nancy tonight, but I don't got the capacity to do it tonight. I've worked all day and all that. So September 23rd is when the cadaver dogs came to the home. Yeah, I've got the text messages, Mohawk, because when the cadaver dogs came, Daniel, that is the day that he allegedly beat his ex-girlfriend. Oh, thank you, baby kids. That's the day that he allegedly beat the ex-girlfriend, and she went and picked him up. I've got the text messages of him texting her, and it's really bad. Really bad. Hey, Dreamcatcher. Corbin, one dog handler, told Daniel that they think something happened Thursday night. And yes, and he says, we think you did something. And they told Daniel more than that. He's just not going to tell us all of it. There's a lot of secrets. They need to say, what's up? Where's Jack and Lilly? Because listen, you can hold those secrets, and RCMP is going to show you, number one, and you're going to have to take those to God. You don't want to do that. Confess now. Say where they're at. Do the right thing. You want to play the new song on the way out? We can play the song out, yeah. If you want. This is the new song called Janie's Got a Rake. And yeah. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Let's rock it out.
Janie's got a rake and a real bad streak, stomping through the yard every day of the week. Dog in the camper barking at the wall. Whole little county hear the whole mess squall. Janie's got a rake, Janie's got a rake, with blame and hate. She talks real big, but the place talks back. Mud in the grass and junk out back. Porch light buzzing, screen door shake. Same old song in the same old rage. Janie's got a rake and a worn out life. Throws it around every time folks cry. Claims go up, but the truth don't stay. It blows right off by the light of day. Janie's got a rake that much tracks. More nerve than proof and more bark than facts. Whole town watching while the windows shake. There she goes again. Janie's got a rake.
Yeehaw. Love you guys. Good night, everyone. God bless. Janie, you had a rake? Or you lying? We've got you saying you had a rake and you don't. Girl, get it together. And tell your son, get it together. Malaya, get it together. Kids are missing almost a year. Tick tock. RCMP's watching. God bless you all. Justice for Jack and Lilly. Good night. God bless.